All right, this is Mechatronics Pneumatics Lab 3. Here we have our conditioning unit connected to our vacuum and a cylinder. We have it set to 15 psi, and my prediction is that the piston will extend, and it does. And when you push it back, it continues to extend, because this is allowing the low pressure to go back through. Alright, this is Pneumatics Lab 3 Phase 2. We've changed out the cylinder for an air bearing. We've placed it on a flat surface, the hole facing down. Turn on the conditioning unit. There's a vacuum formed, and you can feel the suction compared to no suction. Alright, this is Pneumatics Lab 3 Phase 3. Right now we have a loop going to the vacuum and a tube marked 10, 20, 30 inches to a cup of water. Right now we have the regulator set to 15 psi and it's hitting just below 30 inches. So we're going to increase it to about there. And I only increased it by a little and it shot up way past 30. Turn it back down. So yeah, it's sitting at about it's like 10 psi, and it's right at the line of 30. Alright, this is Pneumatics Lab 3 Phase 4. We've set up this system. From the conditioning unit, we go to a button actuator. We have the flow control valve connected to a manifold going to the back of a spring-loaded piston and a pressure gauge. Right now we have the regulator set to 70 psi, and the flow meter is all the way counterclockwise. When we push the button, nothing happens. The piston doesn't move and the pressure gauge reads 0. With a quarter turn clockwise, we start to see very subtle movements of the piston and the pressure gauge raising slowly, dropping down every time the piston shoots out a little bit, and then fully extended, the PSI will raise all the way up to 70. And when released, the piston goes back down. Okay, now we're gonna go to full turn or half turn. That's the wrong way. And we can see that the piston moves a lot less rigidly, smoothly, and then the pressure raises significantly faster. And as we release the button, piston goes back down. Increase the flow even more to a full turn. Piston moves out really fast. Pressure increases really fast. Quarter and a half, or half and a quarter. Oh, that's the wrong way. Whoops. So 1 1/4 turn. Even faster. 1 1/2 turns. Faster. And this is 2 turns. Really fast. And then this is fully open. Instantaneous. Alright, this is Pneumatics Lab 3, Phase 5. We have a system set up with 2 flow control valves connected to an actuator. The actuator gives flow to the input side of the flow control valve. Output is linked to the output side of the second flow control valve. Input to the back of the spring-loaded cylinder. This experiment is to log which flow control valve controls what action from the cylinder. We have all the possible outcomes here. Both of them closed. Flow control valve 1 open. Flow control valve 2 closed. The second, or the opposite of that, and then both open. We have the conditioning unit set to 40 psi. I give power to this with both flow control valves closed. Push the button, nothing happens. I open up flow control valve 1. Push the button, piston shoots out relatively fast. Close flow control valve 1. Open flow control valve 2, and then the piston retracts. Push the button, nothing happens. And then I keep both of them open. The piston retracts a little bit even further. Push the button, piston extends and retracts. So, logging this, when both are closed, nothing happened. When flow control valve 1 was open, extension, but no retraction. When we open up flow control valve 2, we had retraction, no extension. And then when we had both of them open, we had extension and retraction. Alright, this is Pneumatics Lab 3, Phase 6. We've changed up the setup a little bit. Now we have 2 buttons allowing air to go through 2 different flow control valves, which are linked to the beginning and end of the cylinder. So because we can control the flow of going extension, which is high pressure through here, and low pressure through here, we can control how much pressure exactly is being allowed in and out. So I've devised another table to show all the possible outcomes. We got closed, closed, open, closed, closed, open, 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 same as last time. We have the regulator on the conditioning unit set to 70. There we go, 70. Oh, there's a leak. Okay, we got power to the entire system with both of the flow control valves closed. Pushing first button, giving high pressure to the back end of the cylinder, nothing happens because the low pressure has nowhere to go because we're blocking it. Push the second button, nothing happens because, like I said, the back of the opposite side of the cylinder receiving high pressure is being blocked, not allowing the low pressure to go anywhere. So, results of the first event is nothing. Now we open up flow control valve 1, which is going to allow high pressure into the back of the cylinder, but we're still restricting flow to the other side, so no low pressure is going anywhere. We actuate the first button, we have extension, but then no retraction. And then we open up the second, no flow, no retraction. So we have extension, extension, but no retraction. Now, if we close flow control valve 1, open up flow control valve 2,
Yeah, once you already record this,
press this button to flow control valve 1, nothing happens. But we press flow control valve 2's button, retraction happens. So retraction. Okay. And then now we're gonna open up both of them, allowing high pressure and low pressure to flow. So now we should be able to control extension and then retraction by pressing each respective button. Now we can restrict the flow going back from extension, so we can allow a little bit of flow in the low pressure side when we actuate the high pressure side of the back end. So when we push the back end button, retraction is slow, but extension is still fast. Fast extension when pressing this button, slow retraction because we're restricting the flow back out of the system. Now, if we do the opposite, have this one fully extended and this one slightly restricted, we have slow extension, fast retraction. Now if we do something in the middle, like both slightly restricted, we'll have both slow extension and slow retraction. So depending on which outcome we want, if we want slow extension but then fast retraction, we can set the system up to do any one of those outcomes.